but he's free almost every Saturday, like indefinitely after these 4
All
weeks.
Well,
Yep.
we are now live. So
Fantastic!
take over the world.
Hello!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unlucky Rules. Kept you waiting, huh?
Screams.
What's up, everybody?
Hey. We have
It
that
has
usual
been a
energy about us
while.
at the beginning. Yeah, it has been a hot minute. Welcome back to Unlucky Rolls, our first campaign after the holiday season. Already 2 weeks into the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. I am
Happy New
Trisky, your not-so-humble GM, and joining me are Pfeiffer, Six, and Marius playing their respective characters. As if you are watching, you can see on screen, but in a moment they will introduce themselves again. So, from the top in the Discord chat order, we're starting with our little one.
Yes. One moment. There we are. Hello, I'm Pfeiffer. I'll be playing Cassidy Core Carver. I am a 4-foot-tall squat with platinum red hair. I was working in the Underhive as an ammo jack, and then I eventually became a retainer for Sarah Creed as she piqued my interest.
Hey! Next up would be our European.
Yes, hello, I'm Marius. I'm playing Sigismund, who is basically a fanatic of the Emperor, who was part of the Ecclesiarchy as a Hierophant, pretty much. He lived on a different planet and got here from what he believes to be being saved by the Emperor, and now he hears the Emperor's words in his head, so, yeah.
And last but not least...
Hey, everyone. I'm Six. I am also the GM for the Blackstone show, and I am playing
An incredibly handsome character.
I am playing Casildo Rahim, a assassin from the wastes outside of the hive that's currently on the run from his high religious tribe who are trying to kill his sister.
Alrighty, excellent. Thank you everyone for joining me once again for another session. To bring everyone up to speed, we have a little bit of a summary of last session coming up, but before we get back into the world and everything, I want to do one thing real quick, because I realize I have never really talked about this on the streams and such before, but it may be very relevant to a good number of you. So, I would like to invite you to join us for... Goddamn this thing. I hate how it works. Join our Discord server. I will be providing a permanent link to join the Discord server general channel on screen right here in just a moment, and I will say it out loud in just a moment once I get it, because I am prepared. We are always prepared. You have nothing else to say. Yes, we are the most professional outfit of live play streamers in the business. Critical Role, never heard of them.
Agreed.
Alright, so I need to swap it off of
I like how we kept making jokes about being a Warhammer ripoff for our Rogue Trader campaign. Or the original.
Yeah. So the Discord link is at the top of the screen. There is discord.gg as usual. HGMFBZYJVC. I repeat, HGMFBZYJFC. JVC. Yeah.
This is a threat.
Letters.
Not
This
to
is
be
a threat.
confused
Join the
with
Discord server. You
WXYZ.
will be murdered. But yeah, we're a chill Discord server. We talk about tabletop RPG shit and whatnot, and we have community stuff for all of the campaigns that are on the channel. So if you have not joined our server, please do. We would love to have you. And moving on from that, let's get on to the session, because that's the only thing I really wanted to start off today. To summarize really briefly what happened last time, which has been over a month ago now, maybe 2. the party of Casildo Rahim, CC, and Sigismund found their way driving out towards their objective proffered to them by their benefactor, Sarah Creed, their gang leader, to acquisition some supplies for repairs and upgrades to the base. As they went out and drove along the road, semi-running over and or being shot at by random passersby of the Underhive, as is the norm in basically Ultra Detroit, they found themselves seeing their fuel gauge basically empty, and the car came to a puttering stop. Luckily for them, they were near a seemingly occupied section of the sewer tunnels, and after meeting up with some initially not too friendly individuals, they got some information about a potential stock of fuel on the opposite side of the water, which procured a series of aggravating and stressful events, culminating in, I believe it was Casildo who nearly fell to his death into the water, right?
And me.
Oh yeah, weren't you like dragged
Everyone
along with
almost
it?
died in that mission.
I think the only person that wasn't at risk at that point was CC.
Yeah, I didn't cross for a large majority. Only
So-
because I
Made
couldn't.
me-
Only because I knew
made-
I could jump it if I needed to.
You inclined
Yeah,
me
you
to,
knew you could jump it.
go first before you, and I felt like you wouldn't be adequate to argue about it.
Yeah. And in this almost death experience, you met Deadpan, a strange, unsanctioned psyker in the Underhive who, using telekinesis, moved you from your inevitable death up to the platform next to him and basically saved your asses, followed by subsequently pointing out where you could go to do things and being a fellow of very few words. As you found the mutants who seemed to block the area and rummage through a bunch of rubble to get to said mutants, you somehow managed to coerce them into just letting you take the fuel. All the while having to fight the temptation to steal all over their shit when they explicitly told you not to take anything other than the fuel, in hopes that you wouldn't, and they would get violent at that point if you did. Most assuredly. But you somehow managed to overcome your desires, except for CC, who got dragged away, and brought the fuel back to your vehicle, and now we're sort of in a position where you're deciding whether or not you want to continue along with your expedition towards the location, like the coordinates you were given about all of this, or if you wanted to return to base and talk to Sarah Creed about the updates that you've gotten and this information about these mutants with a big stash or something, and to drop off the excess fuel.
I was gonna say, currently, aren't we completely full on fuel? Like all of our space is taken up by fuel, so we don't have any room for other stuff.
Yeah, you stocked up on fuel, so the question is whether you want to continue on to your objective and see if you can acquisition something there to bring it back, or bring the fuel back home first. It has been like a couple days drive already, as I recall.
Casildo? Or Sigismund? I'll leave the choice to you.
Well, we have all this fuel, but now we don't have any space in our car for anything from the place that we're going to go. So we should go drop it all off and then fill up and come back. Bring maybe one tank with us that we could just drop off on the way.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the way to go. What do you think, Sigismund?
Sorry, I had to deal with cutting myself accidentally.
Oh,
as
he
you
needed
do.
he needed
Sigismund,
he
there's
needed
no
to
need
bleed
to
in
do
the
penance for the Emperor.
blood for the Emperor, skulls for the Golden Throne.
Exactly.
Just on the tipping point between, like, loyalty and heresy there. But yeah,
Anyways,
basically you're still trying to decide whether to go back to base and drop off the fuel or continue further, and it seems like the general sentiment is that you're going to need to drop off some shit.
yeah, I'm definitely going with dropping off some fuel because, yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
also say we
not
could like
good.
bury it, but
And
I've
also
lost a lot of money that way.
Sigismund also wants to spend one day, fucking repenting for his fire going out and for potentially not murdering.
Oh yeah, your fire got splashed out
filthy-
because of the flow of sewage and everything.
and potentially not murdering a filthy psyker and filthy mutants on his way.
Yeah. You're trying to
He's less
justify
he's actually
everything
less
in your
harsh on
head.
the psyker, but still, yeah.
Totally fair, totally fair. So we are going to be returning back to the base then, and the first thing I would like you to do is, I mean, you know what a car is, you know how to refuel, you don't have any issue actually just fueling up the tank and whatnot and driving, but you do still, while you have removed some of the barricades that blocked your way on the way out here, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have no obstacles on the return trip. So what I would like you to do for me, CC, is give me a driving test, just regular to difficulty level for me, just to see if any stray obstacle in your path on the way back manages to cause you any sort of notable hurdle.
No problem. Hold on, where is it? I don't have my little thing in the upper left anymore. Oh, there it is. So the
It's
little
once you
thing in
click
the
your
upper left
token,
isn't there anymore.
normally, so.
Oh.
Your token isn't on this map, that's why you would have to click your token.
That's all right. I have my map open. Good news is that I got an advantage. The bad news is that I failed again.
Yep, so we have a wash with an advantage
Joy.
for success and failure. So, on the way back, this was on the way out, mostly because of obstacles and everything. It was about a 2-day-long journey just to get out to the point that you are at right now. And then you've turned around and gone back the same way. And some of the obstacles that you came across that you were able to move aside on the way here have now been... Suffice to say, you have a couple objects here and there that have been returned into their annoying position. Luckily for you, the way the advantage in this circumstance is going to work out is people are a bit afraid to approach you as soon as one of you gets on the heavy stubber on the back of the vehicle. So you are successfully able to coerce everyone to stay away from you, but it does take more time to get back. And so you find yourself spending the night in the car on the way back as you once again have to sift through a massive, overcompensating pile of rubble.
Damn it.
And so basically you are now stranded, give or take. Like, you can drive backwards and go back the way you came from now, but you're waiting around to get this pile of rubble out of the way. At least one of you has to be moving shit aside at all times. One of you has to be staying guard, and one of you probably wants to sleep. So you sort of have to figure that out amongst yourselves as you go about this.
I'm read the manual on how to correctly drive this thing. I thought I was good at driving. I'm having some problems.
If anything in that situation, I can tell you that Sigismund would not take the sleeping one. Especially if we just go off our strain values alone.
I could be the one who stays up as well.
Just to put it in perspective. Just to put it in perspective, I'm going to pull you onto the map and show everyone who's watching the video your respective strain levels. And overall, Sigismund is in the best stamina state right now. Meanwhile, Casildo is fucking beat after climbing over everything and nearly falling to his doom. So we basically are in a situation where, do you want to let Casildo be the one to rest to regain some of his stamina?
Yeah.
And who wants to potentially spend strain moving this shit aside tonight while the last one of you...
I will take the first bit of strain.
All right.
I feel like since I spent a lot less, well, I mean, I spent a lot less of everything else, so you know what? I will take the night myself.
Fair.
Because I've still got a big chunk of strain like ready, so.
All right. From the accumulated strain and from the things that you have to shove aside, especially considering your mass, like you're stout and strong, but you're also short, so it sort of balances out a bit in this circumstance. I want you to do me an athletics check, difficulty 3. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to spend a ruin and upgrade one of those purple dice to a red. Ooh boy. Here, give it a reroll. 2 purple and a red instead.
Oh, and a red, okay.
Damn, that actually rolled better for you.
My first success in 8 rolls.
Yep. So the first time around, he rolled it with 3 purple die, and he got a wash, and now he has a success and an advantage. Basically, what this translates to is you manage to pace yourself well enough to do the job efficiently without gaining a strain. So you are able to go for a good few hours doing that. And fast forwarding a little bit, I just want, I'm assuming Sigismund is on the heavy stubber, even though you're not necessarily very good with the gunnery, but it is more for intimidation factor than anything else. Roll me a perception check, or whatever our equivalent is. I keep forgetting if names are different in different systems.
2 difficulty, or whatever
it is
the base
perception,
is.
yeah. 2 difficulty. All right. So, your success means that you spot it well in advance, but these 2 threats that you gain mean that what you are spotting is not friendly. You notice coming up behind you very slowly along the back of the road is a strange shape at distance. It's dark down here, so you can't really see the shape exactly, but you see it scurrying towards you, and you notice it has more than 4 legs. And that's not normal for a human or a dog or a rat. Still can't see it that well, but it's approaching. Alright, do you fire?
Making sure that I have a somewhat clear shot. And
Alright, so you take some time to aim.
And also, if there's anyone else around me, probably warning them that there's a fucking weird thing coming. There's a mutant something here.
I think my attention will be grabbed as soon as I hear that gun start going off.
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom. Oh, there's a thing.
Yeah, I should be worried.
Like wakes up and opens one of the doors and looks out, bleary eyed.
I do have a fucking range heavy upgraded actually.
It is, in this case, sadly for you, it is not range heavy. It is gunnery. It is a turret.
Yeah. What difficulty and what should I give myself a blue for the aim?
Yes, you give yourself a blue in assistance for the aim, the time you took to aim, and it is going to be base difficulty 2.
Great. At least it has some advantage.
So, you don't manage to make your shot, but it does make the thing slow down and hesitate in some shape. Casildo, as you step out of the vehicle, you turn bleary-eyed and look off in the direction you were just interrupted from your attempt at sleep. Speaking of which, would you give me a very quick, I'm going to say resilience check for me to see if you regained any strain in this case. Just difficulty 2.
I think that it's actually no difficulty usually, but this is like he barely got any sleep, so yeah.
Yeah, so instead of 2, just make it 1 difficulty. 1 difficulty, resilience from you, Casildo.
I'm just saying it from what I remember. I could be completely wrong, but you know.
That does make sense to me. I think 6 may have gotten dragged away.
Deep sleep.
Yeah. He just looks out bleary-eyed at this thing being shot at and goes straight back
The
to
gun
bed.
going off. He's like, sounds like home.
All right.
Deep sleep.
And in this moment, Cece, what are you up to? Like, there's a thing. It's slowed down a little bit. And it looks like it's hesitating, but it's like slowly still approaching you, bouncing from cover to cover, and you still can't make out exactly what it is.
Right. I assume I was like half moving stuff, and then I heard "look out," and then the sound of like the gun going off. I'll take cover behind some rubble that I'm at and pull out my stub revolver, and just kind of like aim in the direction until I'm able to like get a bearing on like where it is. I don't want to randomly shoot in a direction.
Gotcha. All right, so this creature continues to proceed slower and slower towards you. Sigismund keeps up a semi-steady flow of gunfire at it, but doesn't manage to make any hits yet. And after a short while, you don't notice any movement for a moment, and you stop firing. The night is still, it's silent. And I would like our friend Sigismund to roll a quick coercion check. Difficulty 2.
So coercion.
Yeah, coercion.
Yep.
The next thing you see as you peer out is the shape moving again, and you're about to start firing the turret until you realize it's going the other way. You have
Great,
successfully
got
scared off
intimidated
whatever it is.
by loud ass gunfire.
Yeah, I
Sigismund
realized
would
that
run
the
out
angry
with a-
thing wasn't stopping and reconsidered its aspects and left.
Yeah. Sigismund would say that, yeah, it left.
Yeah, I'll just kind of yell up to you. I'll be like, "Hey, great job. Good. Can't believe he slept through the whole thing, though."
Ah?
All of a sudden, Casildo wakes up again after falling asleep from the gunfire, being like so rhythmic and nice in the throbbing of your ears.
I am not used to weapons fire in the echoiness of the city.
I wanted you to roll a 1 difficulty resilience check for me to see how much strain you get back. Mostly just because your sleep was interrupted, so I'm giving you a difficulty at all.
Difficulty what one?
Just 1. Alright, so you successfully regain 3 strain. Very well done. Threat doesn't matter in this circumstance. That's just discarded here.
Okay. Yeah. So, he just like rubs his eye and
Rubs his mask into his eye.
Yeah, just like he basically like lifts his mask up a little bit and like puts his hand underneath and just like rubs his face and then puts the mask back down and says, well, we should get moving. If we keep sitting here, we're gonna continue to have more and more citizens decide to investigate.
Well, hopefully after hearing that, nobody's gonna mess with us for the rest of the night. But I do get what you're saying.
That just means they'll be stealthy about it rather than come straight at us.
But as you say that, you do sort of realize that you've gotten through the worst of this, and as you pull the last bits of rubble aside together, since it's that close at this point, you may as well. You get the vehicle free to move along the path and continue the rest of your journey.
I would assume that the advantage that I got on that quadrant would slightly help with the journey. Like, hey, maybe we should attack the
nothing
fucking
else.
car
Nothing
with
else
the-
attempted to approach you was basically the manifestation from that.
Yeah. Just make
You basically
Oh.
did coerce everything to fuck off.
Exactly.
Big guns
that in
have
mind-
that tendency.
But moving along, it's about another day of travel. There are no other major obstacles on your way back the rest of the way, and you eventually find yourself pulling up to your base and step out and notice that the base is a little bit, well, it's pretty normal. That's dark, but a few less of the fires are lit than usual.
Huh.
You do hear
I
some
mean-
like movement on the other side. It doesn't sound like fighting. It doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like just stuff getting moved around.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, I guess we pulled up to the gate, or did we pull in?
You pulled up to the like side of the gate.
Gotcha. Just kind of get out and like rap at the gate, just being like, "Hey, we're back. Anybody home?"
It just takes a moment, and then you hear. Actually, remind me real quick. Which two of the NPCs joined you? Was it the old guy and the? No, it was the dude. Freddy and
Freddy?
David.
Yes.
Freddy and
David
David.
was the fucking
Hello, chaps.
Monopoly.
Would you like to buy this
Yes.
kind of stuff?
Exactly.
Didn't the two of
Mr.
them like
Monopoly.
walk? Didn't the two of them like wander off while we were doing the mission last time, and we came back to the car and they were gone?
No, we left them with
No.
the car, and he
You're
had
confusing
turned the
that with,
car, and it scared us.
You're confusing that
It
with
was
the
just-
car
we
being
got
off
turned.
screen once we arrived.
The
there.
car was like part
Airport.
off screen, and
After
it
the
was
session
it was a
crazy filled.
misunderstanding of Foundry. Yeah, that was all it was. The car was fine. They were still there. You're good. Neither of them have the best in combat skills, so
Yeah, I think we
Sigismund
brought them
being on the gun.
specifically just to help us carry shit.
Yep, and
Freddy
as of
was
right
like
now,
the
they
only
are
one we-
actively unloading fuel from the vehicle as the door
perfect.
opens very slowly, and you see a lanky figure peek out and look at you all. It's just like, hey, what is it?
Gas, and a lot of it.
Gas?
Yes.
I don't got gas. You got gas.
Where to God?
And with that, you have the lovely gentleman Equire standing at the gate in front of you, and he pushes it open even more, as if insulted by your accusation of him having gas. And then, momentarily behind him, you just hear, "Let them inside, Equire."
Swear by the Emperor, I'll end you.
And you pop back up to the base, trunk pointed towards the gate, Freddy and David unloading fuel, and the gentleman with the strange propensity for, being old steps aside and lets you in. And I know there are two of you. Shut up. Fix. I win. You lose. Not really. It's not enough versus them. But yeah, you come on back and you notice, basically what you notice is that, contrary to what the map shows, some of the fires have been unlit and doused. Some of the rubble around the area has been seemingly moved elsewhere. And, like, there isn't less shit, it's just in different places, is all you can
Yeah.
really gather.
Yeah, I think the
And,
base the past couple times we've like gone back and forth has gotten like small upgrades or changes, or the areas have kind of moved around.
Yeah, they've been moving some stuff here and there, but now they've been actively trying to like make space for stuff because they're expecting materials to upgrade.
Hmm.
And as you come back, you see Sarah on the back of Gut pointing towards the door and waving at you guys and saying, "So, how did things go? Do we have some work to do?"
Yeah, just kind of a different kind. We came across some extra resources and filled up all of our space, so we figured we'd just drop this off before we go out and get the rest of what we set out for.
I assumed it was going to be something like that, considering how quickly you came back. That would have been some pretty daredevil driving on your part, and a lot of fuel to get that far in this amount of time. And you wouldn't have had to have anything in your way. So, what did you bring back for us today?
Gas.
Gas.
Promethium.
Ooh, Promethium. Excellent. You can always
He's
use
filled
that.
up. We also have a location where we can get significantly more, although the inhabitants will have to be dealt with. We'd probably want to bring the entire group next time.
Yeah, I'll kind of mark it down on the like one of the spare maps that we have, and I'll just kind of mark down and be like, "There's a cache that mutants are guarding," and then I just kind of point to Casildo and be like, "He said it was a mountain of supplies,
Specifically fuel. The only downside is that there is a sorcerer living here, guarding the bridge across. Now, we are in good terms now, but if we show up too many times and ask him to lower the bridge, he may get antsy.
Another psyker, huh?
Casildo like looks up at her with like worry on his face and like quickly sees his eyes just like bounce around.
Yeah, that
Thankfully,
He
you
just
have a
looks at
match
you and
on.
gives you a little soft smile.
He stopped him from falling in the water. Nice guy. Doesn't say much though."
Must be used to being alone out in these parts.
He seemed to be wanting to keep his distance for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
But
Most
it is a
psychers don't
large
like to be very
stockpile.
social.
It is a massive stockpile of fuel for the future. If we
I
need it.
will
I thought
make
it
sure
was
to
like
mark it on my
guns and
days
ammo
sleep.
and spare armors and
I believe it was
Also
just.
want to,
There was a bunch of other shit there too. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of
everyone
shit
that
there.
There was a bunch of shit. There was also like the door to them was covered in rubble.
yeah.
So yeah.
She sort of just nods knowingly and thinking about it, and then just mentions, "Well, if we're going to need more capacity to carry things back, we may want a small change in plans then.
Agreed.
There is something that might work. I just have to think about it a little bit. Give me a moment." And she sort of like pats Gut, and they wander back inside to look into something. Meanwhile, you're left alone with the other ones, and Equire's just like looking at you, just... "Oh, what happened to your..."
My light friend? Oh, he's off
He's looking at
penance.
Sigismund.
I'm pretty sure that Sigismund's lights did get turned on again by
Yeah,
that band,
I'm
but
not-
yeah.
he sort of notices that there's like singes on the edges of it
He
from the
notices that
dousing,
there's
but...
something slightly different about it. Sigismund doesn't really say much. If he would say anything, he would probably say shame or something along those lines. or failure. Sounds better.
Oh, yeah. I never heard that kind of fire. Oh! Starts walking towards getting the promethium brought in, as everyone is very quickly able to get all the promethium canisters out of the vehicle and brought inside to sit in a corner notably far away from the bathroom, because promethium reeks, and the bathroom reeks, and you don't want to double down on that. But as time, a little bit of time passes and you guys get a little bit comfortable back at the base, Sarah Creed does come out again and seems to be holding her data slate closely and looking at it, and then just sort of nods and then looks up at you all, and she just gestures for you all to come closer to give you a little bit of info about something. As you all accumulate around her, she just sort of says, "What do you think about butchers?"
I mean, the ones that cut meat?
You could
I
say
also
that.
do not understand the question.
Sarah Creed just looks at Casildo and is like almost robotic response there, and she just laughs a little bit. I have an idea. It's going to be a bit bloody. So you may want to prepare yourselves, but it could be very fruitful for us if we manage to pull it off, especially at this point.
All right.
You could do what we initially planned and take some trips with the car there and bring supplies back in shorter trips. It'll take a lot longer. Or we could get us a truck, and I know where to find one. The problem is the psychopaths that own it. So, there's a meat packing plant a good ways away. It's actually the opposite direction, down south, actually. And the staff of the Corpse Guild that used to work there have gone a bit nutty. Suffice to say, they tend to chop up anyone that comes in and make them a part of the meal. So, you're definitely walking into a bloody fight if you go there. At least I haven't heard of a single person who's been able to negotiate with them, but you might surprise me. Or you might not. Either way. They have a big old cargo hauler truck that they used to use for transporting meat to the market. They don't use it much anymore because they've stuck around to their own devices for some reason for a good while now, but it's still a functional truck. They haven't butchered it for parts. So that's an idea for you all. What do you think?
Sounds like a good repurposing of some trucks.
At one point through that, Sigismund just slightly goes corpse killed.
Are you new to the Underhive, Sigismund?
Sigismund already told her story with, all the shit, but at the same time, she probably just assumes that he's,
Do you have no hive planets on your world, Sigismund, is what she actually says. You have no hives on your planet. I see. The Corpse Guild is the whole organization responsible for making sure that the Underhive remains fed, even though it's shit, and to repurpose supplies, let's say.
I see.
I won't go into any further details if you don't want to know. Suffice to say, it's bloody business, and they need butchers. And sometimes the butchers go nuts, and these ones have. So, you might want to prepare yourself.
That this facility is now available for us to salvage their goods.
Oh, they're still guarding it. They still live there. They're just insane.
Yes, but the guild won't mind if we salvage their goods.
The guild has cut all ties and connections to that place, and has failed in any of their attempts to subdue them. We'd be doing them a favor.
That makes sense. Is this to replace the mission that we were to be on before? We were just here to drop off the stuff.
Well, the goal is still to get more supplies to build up the base, but if you don't have enough storage room to actually carry it back, it's a little bit of a moot point now, isn't it?
Well, that is true.
They have a truck.
Oh, we could steal their truck. Nice. How far? Yeah, go ahead. If you point it out on the map, we should go take them out, get the truck, come back with supplies.
Here, let me give you a little bit of a
The whole nine.
Point here. And with that in mind, I'm bringing you back to the world map here to show you the route down to where you would need to go.
Okay. It's not a
As she
terrible
said,
long way
it's in
compared to the other
relatively
one.
the opposite direction, yeah. It's not as far away, but it is still a decent distance away. It's still going to be, compared to the trip you were on earlier, it's going to be ever so slightly longer, and that's it. So it's still going to be about 2 days.
Works for me. Easy enough.
Great, let's do it.
Go and repurpose some stuff.
All right. How many of you are you got to try and fit in that clown car of yours?
Well, we should take as many as possible if we're going to be going into a combat situation.
Well, as many as possible that are, not going to become a liability.
What'd you say there?
I don't think I meant you. And I look over to the used car salesman who ran away from one of the last combats.
Equire was the one saying that, but David sort of just looks back and forth and says, "It was a proper business decision to retreat for a fight in the future."
Now, Cece, I'm sure we need all the meat shields we can bring.
I like the way you think. I agree.
He just sort of turns and looks at you, mouth agape, but says nothing.
We are the good guys.
Sarah just sort of nods. Sarah just sort of nods and says, "I could lend you guts help for a mission, but I would need some people to stay behind to help me out. And
I'm not sure he could fit in the truck.
Yeah, that's also a problem. He doesn't like driving at all.
Now, once we pick up the meat truck, we could probably put him in the back of that for future missions if we need it. But I don't think.
Or we get one of those really cool sidecars, but it'd be really big.
Yeah, big sidecar.
Like a sidecar bigger than the actual motorcycle.
Yeah, he's just behind it. We just kind of tow him.
Find the STD for a cyber truck. Anyways.
So, you guys start making preparations, I gather. You're not going to head out immediately, as it is currently, late evening.
Yeah.
And so you make some preparations for the next day to head out. Anything in particular that you are all doing before you head out the following day?
I'm going to familiarize myself with the car a little bit more and set myself up a a proper like extended pedal and like seat booster and everything to really make it easier for me to stop.
Squatify it.
Yeah, I'm gonna squatify the vehicle a little bit. Can I use tech use to see if I
Yeah,
can
see
give
if you can
myself any
improve it a little
advantages
bit.
for driving this specific vehicle?
Sure.
Fantastic.
Roll me a difficulty 3 because you're making some notable
yeah.
modifications in a relatively short time.
Damn it.
Recall that you can use glory to do rerolls if you would like.
Yeah, I was looking to see engine sear, but it's only imposed. I can remove any number of imposing, but do not. 2 failures, 3 advantages. I guess I'll ask you guys, do you think I should use that, or should I just take the failure?
I'd say take it.
We shouldn't be using our rerolls this early on.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
I'll just hard to jimmy rig.
While you don't manage to waste any materials into such a state that they can't be reused again, you don't manage to make anything really comfortable. And while you are able to reach the pedals a little bit easier as a result, your sitting angle is hurting your spine. So, no advantage to your driving skill.
It's all right, we'll keep working at it. Eventually.
Yeah, eventually you'll realign your spine.
Yeah.
But this project takes a good couple hours for you before you head off to bed, and the light gets too dim, and by that I mean they have to stuff out the rest of the lights to conserve fuel. Even though you have a lot more, it's still good practice, and it's still muscle memory at this point. However, the following morning, you come back, get in the vehicle, are pained a little bit about the spine thing, and start making your way downtown.
Casildo, anything you want to do?
Yeah, what is Casildo doing before you head out, either the night before or the day of?
Well, if we rest, then can I get some of my strain back first off?
Yeah. Roll me another resilience, difficulty 0, because it's uninterrupted. We'll just see how many successes you get to regain more strain. Ooh, you have a rough night sleeping. So, you're able to regain a little bit of strain back, but what is Casildo's nightmare like?
I keep having like dreams about that sorcerer we met, and like him taking Filza away.
Gotcha.
It is not pleasant, to say the least.
Oh, right. Should we also roll to see if we recover any of our...
Yeah, both of the other two of you roll the same for me. See if you recover anything.
Okay. And
It is a resilience difficulty 0. All right, so CC manages the advantages in this don't matter. It's just the successes, so you gain a couple.
I think that there was also another thing you can use other than resilience, but I'll just roll it for now because
Just keep it quick. We'll look into it if it could be advantageous for you.
Amazing.
You are too distraught about letting your flame get snuffed out, not murdering those mutants, and not killing that psyker heretic.
Yes, talking about that.
Like that.
Can I repent to the Emperor now?
Yeah, you attempt to repent to the Emperor and stay up basically all night to do so. You don't lose any more strain, but no regain, and the following day when you are told that you're all heading out, you are not in the best of moods.
Yeah. I'll assume now perception too. Then.
Yeah, you have a bit of a blurry-eyed kind of thing going on right now.
Yeah.
All right. So our party here.
Mm-hmm.
Are we taking
Go ahead.
along the corpse grinder cult?
Yeah, I think we're just taking like everybody. Everybody we can fit.
Aye.
Literally clown
So-
cart.
Yep, you have to clown car it a little bit, which makes yet further rest even harder. But you somehow manage. And you begin your way heading on out towards the butcher shop for the Corpse Guild that you've been told about. Moving along this big ol' route. First things first, there are going to be still obstacles along the way, as it is not maintained roads. So, CC, give me your driving test. Difficulty 2.
I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Moment. Driving. Difficulty what?
Difficulty 2.
2.
All right. So, you have a pretty decent time driving. However, you do take some pot shots from passersby here and there, and a few of them come bit too close for comfort. Roll a quick resilience difficulty 2 for me, and if you fail, you take the number of failures in strain. If it's 0, you take 1.
Mm-hmm. You said resilience too?
Yeah, resilience difficulty 2. You are able to overcome the fact that your face was nearly blown off quite easily, actually. As you proceed to drive along, the rest of the party in the back, wincing in the clown car formation as bullets whiz through the vehicle's windows. You trying to say something, Marius?
No, I was just typing something about recovering stuff.
Ah, gotcha.
I think that maybe my headset's wire just caught or something because, yeah. Anyways.
You make your way down yet further and further, and eventually find yourself outside of a large and very interesting facility. Now, to paint you a picture of what this looks like, this is obviously some form of small, specialized manufactorum of some sort. But none of you have ever seen anything like this before. And it is, to say the very least, unnerving as you approach, as one of the first things you spot along the road, coming up to the outskirts of this location, are spikes with skulls embedded upon them. And as you proceed further, the skulls become more numerous. And the method of piercing and the damage to the skulls gets worse. Eventually, you come up to... it's not really a gate, one would say. You don't have to open it. But it is what appears to be the de facto entrance to this place. And poking out from the front walls of this, like these couple pillars beside the entrance, are cages propped up. Inside of these cages are the desiccated and rotting corpses of what looked to be at some point human. Just sitting there in eternal death and sleep. Obviously, a warning of some sort.
I see. Well, at least they're clear.
At least they're being honest.
Yeah, they're being very blunt about this. Whether or not that helps you in the long run is a different matter. But how do you proceed from here? No map yet.
Right, being more cautious and stealthy overall.
I was gonna say, I mean, we still have to kind of drive.
Still.
So I'm not entirely sure how we be stealthy, but if we get confronted, I mean, should we just immediately execute rather than, 'cause we're not going to be able to talk. This is going to be an immediate like need for murder, yes?
I mean, maybe. It would be funny to try to talk to them, though.
Might be.
I will not say towards or against whether or not you have any other options at hand. That is up for you to figure out.
I mean, Sarah said that they've gone crazy.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they've gone crazy or not. They are an obstacle towards us and our goal of the goods within this facility, and that's what the boss says to do. So we're gonna murder them.
Yeah, I think this time that we're gonna have to go into it a little bit more cold-blooded than normal, which, you know, I'm one who loves talking. I'm thinking that rather than put any of you guys in danger, I would rather just, you know, shoot first, not worry about questions.
I would like to try talking, but I feel like in Sigismund's current mode, he would enjoy some bloodshed. Or prefer it out of our options.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of keep driving. Sigismund, I assume you're gonna stay mounted on the gun, or do you want to do that, Casildo? I don't know if either one of you have gunnery.
We also have a tech priest.
I don't have gunnery specifically, but I do have, you know, quite a few green dice in that, so I could be up on the gun.
Yeah, I mean, Sigismund just said we also have a tech priest. Does anyone we're with have are they proficient with gunnery?
So you should be able to see their stats, actually. If you can't, let me know. I'll make sure
NPC?
it's... Yeah, friendly NPCs, henchmen. You can look at them all.
You know, funny enough, Equire's got a good amount.
Well, I was going to assume that the Esquire was going to have some good shooting.
Yeah, I think Equire might seems to be about twice as good as any of us.
Just hope that he doesn't shoot the random rat.
So you want to try and get him on the gun?
Spotted.
Oh, it doesn't seem like a great idea, but it does seem like the best idea.
I agree.
All right. So you toss Equire on the gun and hope that he can keep his senses about him long enough to operate it.
Yep, that's kind of where I was sitting.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we'll just tell him. We'll be like, hey, do not shoot until we give you the signal.
Signal! Gotcha! Aye, aye!
We're gonna die. All right, then I guess we continue. We have our plan of action. We have our expert gunner.
experienced at the very least.
Experience. All right. Give me just a second. I hate that that does that on the screen. That is really annoying. Oh well, I just have to deal. We got... I don't fucking have this thing anymore. Great! I'm organized. Definitely organized. You guys approach the gates, go past these pillars with the hanging corpses, and stop your vehicle outside. And at this point, the path very quickly collapses to be very tight. Moving through this with a vehicle would basically be impossible with walls.
Mhm.
You can park the vehicle outside and utilize the gun from there, but it will be immobile.
Right. I mean, we still need someone to guard the vehicle. So keeping someone on the gun if we have to go by foot is probably still a good idea. Good chance of having the ride stolen.
So you get some folks set up there.
Yeah, we're probably going to need to at least lock it, you know?
I just push down the little like pop-up lock on the door, and I'm like, and fixed. Nobody's getting in this baby.
Portman looks at you briefly and then just like points to his chainsaw attachment, his buzzsaw attachment, and then just sort of like shakes his head. If somebody wants to get in, they will get in. And if what I know is correct, they will have the means. Oh well, it's your funeral.
Well, who do you think we should bring then, Casildo? Who do you think should stay? Because I feel like if we leave Ekwire here on the gun alone, something's gonna happen.
I think that Freddy has had enough of dealing with Esquire, so
It's probably fine, you know? If something happens to the ride, at least we're going to have this truck after we're done, so.
True.
I would say leave Mr. Monopoly with him, but then we cannot use him as a meat shield.
Yeah, by helper, an assistant.
Oh boy.
Do I have something I can use in the short term? God fucking damn it. I hate, I despise, and I loathe.
It seems like your
GM
file
is fighting
like
with
to
finding
just...
the correct token to represent something, and I am failing miserably. So that is.
I mean, hey, I'm also
Alright,
not going to be able to check Foundry that much right now because of the scope setup.
Yeah, we can take a moment.
Yeah.
Actually, just so I can do a nice preparation, we're going to do a 5-minute break real quick.
Sounds good.
That'll be a better way to go about this than me bumbling around like an idiot. Live on stream, because of course. Alright, everyone, thank you, and we'll see you very shortly. We should be back and properly recording, and I have manually unmuted all of the audio tracks, but my fucking Stream Deck is not set up for coming back from BRB yet, because I had to redo a bunch of shit. So, hello everyone, we are back. Hope you enjoyed your piss breaks and everything. I have now successfully prepped what we need, as I will now drag you all into the correct scene.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier.
Shut the fuck up.
Look, man, I can't control myself sometimes.
Just one last thing I forgot to do. All right, now we're good. Activate that top left corner.
Right.
So, you enter this region, park your vehicle as close up as you can, pushing aside some barrels and cans. It doesn't seem that you have any intent to come at this stealthily, I recall you mentioning. And
Yeah.
you come up
Stealthily.
to the core facility of this corpse place. Nothing is running. There are some fires here and there in some of the equipment, but there is no whirring of machinery or active moving about of anything here and to and fro. It is eerily silent.
Yeah, you'd figure for a factory there'd be a bit more going on.
It's eerily silent, so that means that we all must keep our weapons ready and aim at every single corner.
Alright, so do you just start walking in? Game should be on pause. You should be able to control your tokens as of right now.
Yeah. Do you
do we-
want me to lead the front then? Are you all
I was
fine with that?
going to say, say, why do I keep spinning? I just want to zoom in. Jesus
Because you're holding
Christ.
control. Control and
I'm not.
turn.
I'm
I
not
think,
holding control. I'm just gonna tap the mouse to this.
I think Casildo would, put his hand up and give him give out the hand signal that he's gonna go ahead. So he's gonna like stealth ahead and figure out where all the enemies are posted before we walk into traps and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to say, I was going to say that, hey, maybe David should go first.
Well, let me stealth around first, and then we can send.
Yeah.
What difficulty am I looking at for a stealth check?
You drove in here with the engine running and everything and have knocked over some crates and whatnot. It is going to be pretty damn difficult to be stealthy from this point. I'm going to give you a solid 4.
4?
And
Okay,
I am even going to use a ruin to upgrade one of those to a red.
Okay.
So it is 3 purple, 1 red.
Then let's just roll it and see what happens. Hey, I did it.
How did you fucking succeed that? Okay. 1
Okay,
success,
so the rule of
5
thumb of
threats.
this- Rule of thumb for this campaign: we succeed at all of the impossible rolls. Understandable. Have a nice day.
So, what I want you to do for me, Casildo, is move your token up along the top path here, as you might see, very slowly, and as you would see things, I will reveal them and tell you to stop. Alright.
I was paused.
As you scurry up to this container and look around... Yeah, I'm going to pause it instead of just telling you to stop,
Okay, cool.
because I think that works easier. And as you run up here, you hide behind this canister very silently and look around you. And you're very glad that you stopped here, because popping up right next to you are 2 strange mask-wearing gentleman in spiky armor and wielding relatively poorly maintained but still functional weapons that are likely still covered in blood. And as you come up here, you wait a short moment, and a couple of them seem to wander by in a Metal Gear patrol pattern, and you use that opportunity to be able to scurry forward.
Are we waiting for like hand signals? And I assume he's gonna scout far ahead and then wave us on.
Yeah, I mean, you see him like stop for a moment and then like continue around the corner. So it's like up to you if you want to follow up.
Oh, yeah. At that point, I'll follow.
But you might need to make a stealth roll because you might make noises or whatever if you do that.
Yeah, if you want to follow along, you will have to make a similarly difficult stealth roll.
Okay.
Anything beyond like here is going to require a stealth roll from you. So do you want to risk that or no?
I think it would be a good idea to follow. I mean, I don't remember what you said before you left. If you said like, I don't remember if you said like wait here or if you said like I'll let you know when it's clear.
He just said that he'll scout ahead, I'm pretty sure. I personally feel like it's better to wait around.
Basically, I gave you the hand signal to stay here. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Then you know what? I will stay here. I will stay before I have to make the check.
It's up to you how you interpret those hand signals.
Yeah. I will wait. I will not.
And to bring us back to the present moment, I did pause the game again to update and reveal another unit that you see to your southeast, Casildo. I am going to... They also Metal Gear Solid patrol pattern somewhere. And I'm just updating the positions of some other relevant tokens as you move about here. And unpause.
I was going to say that Sigismund will move back a bit because, big ass fire.
So that guy walked away. There's one guy on the left over there that walked away. He's gonna try and get behind all this stuff to try and avoid this guy on the right. And is the guy on the right looks like he peeks around the corner? Does the guy on the right look like he's looking up towards CC, or does he look like he's looking towards the hallway I'm next to?
He looks about real quickly and seems to be on alert in some capacity, but since nothing has started firing yet, he's just doing his regular look around kind of thing. He doesn't seem to have noticed anyone else. He seems to take a moment to stop and pull out something rather gruesome from his pocket and lifts up his mask slightly to chew on it. And at this point, you are basically compelled to look away because holy shit!
It
looks like raw meat.
Is the area above me with this tarp, is that open to go through?
Yeah, you can walk through that. The tarp is connecting between that and the main building as a sort of overlay, but there are no boxes there. So
so he's gonna take this moment to get back up. He's almost gonna trip into CC going around this corner. And he'll signal over to Sigismund. He'll give the symbol for 3, and then he does a wave over, and then he's going to pull out his long rifle and wait for this guy to sort of move back to the right so that he's out in the open. And he's gonna shoot him when he gets a chance.
All right, so you're basically prepping a sniper strike at this guy.
Sigismund over.
Yeah, so I'm basically taking an aim action, and prepping to wait for him to be out of that cover as he moves back to the right.
Yeah, I will also like pre-aim just along with. I mean, if I see you posting up to like take a shot and you just, told us that there were people there, then
So you post up to take a shot, and as he finishes his meal, he tosses apart like what seems to be a bone just haphazardly on the ground, lowers his mask again, and starts to walk forward. And then you will have the opportunity to take your shot as he passes by the machine just here. So I would like you to target him first. Make sure you do that, and then take a shot with the sniper rifle.
I want to say that I want to be around here, right behind that box, seemingly.
Yeah, you're just hiding behind the low box there.
Yeah. And mostly aiming with my crossbow towards, in my front. That AoE. Goddammit. Delete. There.
How do you target? Is that a thing?
It's a thing on
Right
the
click
left.
on him and click the little not the sword and shield, the little like target symbol in the bottom left. Once you do, there should be like 4 orange arrows pointing at him.
Or you can double right click him.
Right click on the target.
Ah, nice.
Right click on him, click the little thing there, and then I'll target him. And then when you do an attack, it'll roll as if against him.
Very cool. All right, so I'll do that, and then
And you have the drop on him. I'm only going to give you 1 difficulty.
yeah. Where the hell is it in the? Did I just roll a combat skill?
So on your
you roll
character, if
your
you click on
weapon.
you and hover over weapons in the top left, you can just click sniper rifle, and that should do it.
Ah, gotcha. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. So I'm getting that boost. Difficulty 1. So yeah, there's this.
Apply your aim use and whatnot.
There's this loud bang that fills the space as his long rifle smokes at the end.
4 successes.
And a shot
Now-
slams into him.
Extra successes, do they do any extra damage in this circumstance? I'm trying to recall.
Yeah, I believe every
Yeah.
extra success is an extra damage, right?
I mean, it already calculates the damage there. It's
Yeah,
plus 4.
it's already 12 total.
Alright.
And I didn't get enough advantage to do a critical hit, but I did get enough advantage to do something.
Yep.
Pull up my advantage chart here.
I think we have
We
one
should have a
pinned in
thing
here, too.
pinned.
We used to
We
have
have a lot
thing
of shit
pinned.
pinned.
I'm going
Oh, yeah, we
to
do.
recover 1 strain and then add a blue to my next check. I have so much strain, I might as well use it up. Cool. Yeah, so I do 12 damage to this guy as the shot like penetrates his shoulder and ricochets further on into the building.
Yep. Alright, so you take this 1 shot, and because of your positioning and having the drop on this fellow, he proceeds to fall over. I don't know. This thing is going to be lovely in it. Oh, yeah, I have to do it like so.
Oh, I believe I should have an extra boost as well because I aim. Roll 1 boost.
It already has a
So add 1 more
blue,
damage.
but yeah,
It's because my weapon's accurate, it automatically adds a blue. That's why I was screwed up.
nice.
Yeah. So 1 more damage. Trisky.
Give me just a second. I'm seeing if I can figure out that this thing works. This thing has a thing for minions versus regular units, and I am struggling to figure out how to tell this thing what I need it to. Ah, fuck it. You take your shot. It rings out. This entire place, once silent, now echoes with the gunfire as he proceeds to take another step forward, seems to pause mid-motion, and then just falls over as he is now very much dead. Oh, god damn it, that applies it to everyone. I fucking hate that. It's so annoying to do some of this stuff sometimes.
Yep.
Why can't I adjust it? God damn it. Okay. Is it right click to remove? No, it is not. Fuck! I need to learn this part of Foundry. I will just do this sort of manually in the back instead of using Foundry system for it. So I'm just gonna proceed forward. So the shot rings out, takes him down, and he falls flat on his no longer existent face as your bullet plants straight through the back of his skull and comes out the front, bits of mask shattered across the ground. And with that, everyone else in the vicinity immediately perks up, and you do realize that you're in for a fight as scuttling and movement start up.
All right.
Give me a second. I forgot the way that we would do, like, just easy initiative.
You turn everyone to combat state,
Right.
and then you... Yeah.
And typically you roll like cool or stealth.
It's already automatically cool, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, that should be all the NPCs rolled.
Is it only for me that it says NPC, 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 PC, PC?
Yeah, it's not identifying what they are. I forget if that's I don't think I got all of you when I click dragged.
Mm,
Who did we miss? Was it just us?
All of the other members of your party are rolled. You guys just have to roll your own. So in the combat order thing, I think you could just click the die symbol.
It also tells you if you want to do vigilance or cool.
Where is the combat order thing in here?
On the...
It is the second
on the
tab right
right.
after the chat.
Second tab up to the chat. Oh.
The
No?
fist, yeah.
Oh, first tab after the chat for us. Oh yeah, vigilance or cool. And it's cool because we're not like getting attacked. It'd be vigilance for them.
It's not an ambush.
And then no boosts or there we go.
All right, and that is initiative order. So, first in initiative order actually is our lovely Sigismund sitting put.
It's weird it just does PC NPC and doesn't like actually do us.
I was going to mostly try to Overwatch, but I suppose I can reposition above Callisto then, and then do that afterwards for a better positioning. I assume I can move like 20 feet at least, right?
Yeah, you are able to move around that much at least. I need to reflect on how movement is applied, but
And is it fine if I basically do an overwatch down here?
yeah. So you're gonna just watch over anything that's within vision and do that.
Yep.
I think I'll still probably just use my stub pistol for now. I'd only like to pull out the bolter whenever it's necessary. Depends on how overwhelmed we get.
Yeah. Whose turn is it now?
I believe. Oh yeah, I should
think
probably
it's the
begin
enemies.
combat. You should have some means of saying your turn is over. I think. If not, just let me know. I'll move to the next turn. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we are up to one of the NPCs, and that one is dead.
So we actually aren't. Next up. You're trying to deal with
I don't know how to post multiple of the same unit.
I think that you made them a horde. So it applies everything to everyone. Or something, maybe.
Yeah, I made them a mob. Ah, that's how I do it. I changed the number.
Okie dokie.
I don't fucking get this. Okay, I'm just going to ignore it and do it manually. Okay, next turn would be you, Casildo.
Okay, so that guy.
I'm just going to delete it when they're dead.
That guy's dead. Cool. I know there's a guy like down there to the right. So as I move, I'm gonna like point in that direction with a 1 up to the other people. I'm gonna like crawl, do that like military crawl run thing down to here with my rifle out, aim down to the left, and that guy is still standing there. Yeah, or has he moved, Trisky?
He is. If you can see him physically, you can see him.
Okay. So I'm gonna point my rifle down that way. And so that was my maneuver to move, so I don't get to aim. So we'll just target him like that, and we'll just fire long rifle that direction. What's his defense?
The defense on these guys is
It's automatically giving me 2, but
it ranged is 1, melee is 2.
cool. I miss.
All right, so the shot whiffs, and the fellow ducks underneath. But you do have a couple advantage to spend if you'd like to try and do that.
Oh, I also have an extra blue die. Let me check if that blue die helps from my previous turn. No, that didn't help. Okay. So I'll use the 2 advantage. To perform a maneuver. So I'll move again. So I make the shot, it hits the wall. Casildo curses in a language neither of you speak. And he moves back. behind this cart. That's his turn.
Alrighty, that is the end of that turn in order, and the other guy, the guy who you just shot at, proceeds to move up, and I'm pretty sure we have some form of maneuver for getting in cover, and that will be very appropriate here. Now let us see.
Yeah,
dive in behind cover.
Yes.
His maneuver is in the background. You hear scuffling and some sort of soft thumping noise, and nothing proceeds to fire back at you, but you did hear all of this going on in the meanwhile. But it is now no longer their turn.
Yeah, you don't
Other
have to do
scuffling
like
goes on in the
you,
distance.
you don't need to do maneuver to get into cover. It's just like being behind something when you move. It's not like in other systems where you have to like actually do an extra action to like hunker down and cover or whatever.
I apparently forgot to add them to the combat order. They will get their turns in due time. In order, as we already have them. Some shuffling noises go on in the distance. You do not notice anything of the sort until it is now the turn of Equire, who, lovely, funnily enough, is on the gun here and has a good shot here at this lovely gentleman. So I am going to very quickly add the mounted minigun to Equire's sheet so that he can take a shot. Oh, yeah. Actually, I have to roll this from the car because it's a vehicle weapon, so let me get that done. I do not know how to tell it to roll, so. Alright, I'm just going to roll the necessary die as if it's his auto pistol and then calculate the damage myself. Characteristics, gunnery. That's David Leichenchamp's sheet. That is not the correct one to use. Oh, is it his turn? No, it is not. All right, let me fucking get this done. You, gunnery skill, roll that. Two successes, two advantages with the swivel mounted heavy stubber as the gun proceeds to mow this one down with relative ease, considering its damage minimum is more than his health. And he just... You can't see it. You're on the opposite side of a wall, but you hear heavy automated gunfire and something scream out in pain, and then well, the gunfire basically doesn't stop because he continues to shoot at shit, but the screaming stops abruptly. As it is now your turn again for, I believe it is actually Cece's turn once I do this.
Okie. Once that little maneuver is finished.
He is all done. It is your turn.
Fantastic. I don't see anybody in my line of sight, so I suppose I would want to move up, yes?
Very likely if you want to engage.
I see... Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, so I can technically see a goon from here, but I don't know if I'm
You see like a
supposed to see
glimpse
him.
of him, but you don't really have a good angle on him. So yes, you can see him.
Okay.
If you can physically see him, you can see him, but you can't take a shot on him. However, I would
Should
like
be
you to
able
stay
move.
put. Where were you first able to see him?
Right. Ooh, sorry, I need to. How do I get back to my there? Right here.
All right. At that point, I'm needing you to pause for a second as he takes a
Yes.
prepared shot at you.
Yes.
So he leans out as you come up and he notices the scuffling of your feet and points a gun at you and takes a shot with an auto pistol. Making sure I mark you as the target and roll. Oh, he does take a shot at you. All right, so 5 + 2, 7 damage. And what is your soak?
Soak 5, range defense 1.
All right. Range defense was based on how difficult it was to hit you. Soak is how much you subtract from that. So
Okay.
you
So I
take a
two
total.
wounds?
Yes, you take a total of 2 damage.
Hey.
I forget if these guys had soak. They do. That would have been relevant had I remembered, but it's too late now. So lucky you.
Alrighty. I will continue to move. Why can't I move me? Oh, because the game's paused.
Because I paused it there.
No,
Now it's
I was
unpaused.
like, there's a reason.
Why can't I move? Oh no, time's frozen.
I think I was gonna move. How far was 20? Well, 20 and then I don't really know where to go from here. I guess I could kind of just sit here for a second and wait for people to join me, yeah? It's hard to
Yeah,
know
you
what
could edit
I
around.
won't be in cover. I could probably move forward 1. Yeah, because I think I can move 25? Yeah. Okie doke. And then I guess I will prepare a shot if he peeks out from behind that cover where I got a glimpse.
If you can still see him actively where you are,
I cannot.
then all right. Yep, so you're preparing a shot now that you're a little bit obscured by the angle. And it is now moving on to the next turn of yet another NPC in your repertoire. As Sigismund, you notice behind you a certain mechadendrite-riddled individual come up behind you and just sort of, if he had a hat, he would tip it to you, but he sort of just nods his head to you in acknowledgement and takes cover behind this stack of crates. And with that, you hear something different as we move along. You hear grinding off inside the building.
Joy.
This grinding goes on and off and stops. And we move back to Sigismund's turn.
I mean, we don't seem to know where anybody else is for now.
Yes, we have to sweep and clear.
So could I advance like up to here and then wait for CC or for somebody else to cover my back, I suppose?
You got a bunch of people back here, so.
Oh, is that like a tarp you can go under? Oh, it is.
It is,
I
yes.
see.
Yeah, you can move through there. I was wrong about the other one that you were pointing at earlier because there is actually a box here, but it's whatever.
Oh no, I went around that box between the box and the wall.
I think that I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
go,
you like scurried between.
here
That's
and
fine. Yeah.
I'm gonna go take cover around this area behind these boxes and then aim just here.
Let's give a peek over there. All right, move along.
Mm,
You look about and you spot nothing.
Mostly just aiming to see if anyone comes out of that door, that they'll get a crossbow shot in their whatever they get hit in.
You're gonna get it right in the whatever it is you got.
Shoulder,
Right, so you passed your turn.
tentacle,
It is now. You notice Freddy off to your left scurrying up and taking cover behind a smoldering, cooking something or other. It's not really super active, but it is giving off heat as he sits down and pulls out his weapon and looks down the hallway. And you see, all of a sudden, him wince as bullets whiz by his head, and he seems to be taking fire from something out of your vision. But all the fire whizzes past his head and misses. There's another one here. He sort of just motions in that direction, and that's about all he is able to do before it is now Casildo's turn again.
Cool. So yeah, Freddy said there was somebody down that way. So how far can I move with a maneuver?
We're basically playing by the rule of thumb of about 25, 30 feet. We're
30?
sort of running. Like the way that Genesys technically does this is not by like feet and whatnot. It's by movement bands, like range bands,
Right.
going back and forth.
I'm pretty sure that you can use your action for a maneuver if you want to.
Yeah, you can sprint.
Yeah.
Basically doubles your movement as for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. So I will come down here and I'll see, Freddy being shot at, and I'll sprint down this corner.
And you spot a guy right around the corner holding up an auto pistol aimed at Freddy.
And I'll just sit back here behind the wall.
Yep, because that's your full turn at this point. Go ahead and
Yeah,
pass your
if
turn.
I wanted to do 2 strain, I could have done a second maneuver, but
Yeah.
I'll keep the strain down. So you can go next.
All right. And that turn, it is now. You hear yet more scurrying, and Sigismund, as you look around, for a moment you were looking down towards Freddy and where he was, but then you pop your head back up and you notice another one standing there, the same one supposedly that Cece has been messing with, and he pulls out and takes a pot shot at you.
Who? Where? What?
You can't
Here.
see it. It's out of your view.
Oh, Sigismund. Sorry. Yeah.
If you
He's getting another
N1
setback because you're basically in cover.
if you unselect yourself, you should be able to see. And he failed but got 2 advantages.
He failed, but he got 2 advantages. In his circumstance, he's going to use those to quickly shuffle out of sight into cover, and that will be it. Next up would be... We have another one of your lovely friends coming up. He's just like, in the name of industry! As David Lykenchamp pulls up, and from somewhere, you have no fucking idea where, Casildo, because you've never seen it before, he pulls out a whole shotgun and aims it at this guy.
Where did David get a shotgun?
And despite only having 1 greed die, he somehow fucking succeeds.
He GTA 5 did into existence.
Brett, where did you get that grenade? I don't know.
as he takes a good chunk out of this fellow, but now that I remember that soak exists, he is not dead just yet. He does, however,
Knockdown.
get knocked down, yes. Alright, and he is now considered prone. So there's the prone for you. As he is knocked back, I'm going to move him back a little bit too to represent the force of the shotgun going into his fucking gut. And with that, it is now yet more shuffling in the darkness.
Blast is supposed to deal more damage, but I think that it only deals
It auto-calculated.
extra damage to people.
Shuffle, shuffle, darkness, shuffle.
Casildo, you turn around and see the door behind you open as sprinting out from inside of the facility, single deranged cultist or whatever have you, sprints up to you with a chain axe.
I would ask if I can get my Overwatch thingy sort of off, but I would.
Yeah,
assume that
you
I
were
would
sort
be
of like
distracted
looking
by
at this
being shot.
area. You were sort of looking at this area to do such things,
I was
so
going
go
to say
ahead.
that maybe I was going to say that maybe you should have used that to advantage from the other guy to give me a black dice. Okay.
I shuffled him into cover for that, so I've already done something with it, so you are all set.
I'll just roll a normal crossbow shot then.
So you're rolling a crossbow shot at this guy coming up behind Casildo.
Yep.
You whiff
Damn.
and go wide as
Complete
he
wash.
proceeds. Yeah, fresh rush.
He's he does have only one. He has 2 range defense, right?
1 range defense, 2 melee defense.
So that actually would have hit, I'm pretty sure. Because difficulty depends on the defense of the target.
Go ahead and reroll it with 1 difficulty. There you go.
There.
All right. So, 8 minus 5. You managed to notch a crossbow bolt, or you already had, and launch it into his left shoulder. But as he does it, his left shoulder is flinging forward anyway to give him momentum for the swing, and he doesn't seem to even notice, even though it does seem to be a grievous wound, as he proceeds to swing his chain axe at our lovely friend Casildo.
And I dodge away at the last moment. Ha!
Aha! And in response to him missing this swing, he will use some of his advantage in his favor to gain some defense next turn to make it harder to hit him back. But that is about the extent of it.
Also, to be fair, Sigismund rolled 2 threats, so you could add a blue die to this attack if you wanted to, Trisky.
Yep, any counterattack would be... The next counterattack on him is going to have... the blue die generally don't have successes available on them anyway. Most of the time it's really hard to do, so...
It is
I
a
can
1 in 6, you're right.
Yeah.
So you can give me
I
a
will-
black die on my next action, or you can give Sigismund a black
we
die.
will do... I won't retroactively give him a chance to do that again. Instead, I'll just give you the black die, and we'll call it a turn.
That works.
And out of view, you hear yet more scuffling and scuttling inside the building. It is now you look behind you and you see a certain giant gun thing swivel in your general direction, mostly aiming at the guy right next to you, but you are partially in the path. As Equire shifts the turret around, aiming primarily at the cultist right next to you, and begins to press down on the trigger. And I am going to use my last ruin to upgrade one of his shots to red. If he fails significantly enough, I may have him roll to hit you.
Joy.
The advantages he uses not to hit you, but he does shoot wide. And bullet holes riddle the wall behind you, clattering against the concrete and tinging off the metal panels slapped onto it haphazardly to keep it up and running. As that is the end of what he is able to do with a gun. Instead of moving around, he simply prepares the gun and does some reloading. As he has expended all of his current ammunition, it is now Cece's turn.
Fantastic. Well, I have a clear shot on the goon that's been, attacking Casildo, so I think I'll just go ahead and take that shot, if you don't mind.
Go nuts.
Go nuts, donuts. Difficulty 2.
Yes.
Pew. Fuck.
Damn.
Right. No hit, but would you like to improve your defense for next round?
Yes.
All right, the next attack on you is going to have a... Well, actually, no, it's not just the next attack. Your defense until your next turn is increased by 1 because of your defensive
Gotcha.
nature.
And I will move... you. Oh, wait. Sorry,
there is no Overwatch shot prepared, so you can continue moving.
Okay. Gotcha. Then I will
I'll pause you if there is something in the way, but you're
no
fine.
problem. Just wanted to make sure.
All right. Now, I will remind the players that they now have a current pool of 6 glory from me using Ruin against you.
Yep.
Moving on.
We're saving it like health pots in a video game. We'll never, ever use them.
Exactly, the big brain play.
Oh no, I'm using mine on my turn.
No,
I'm not gonna let this guy freaking... he's got a chain axe. That's fucking scary as fuck.
No,
why does he have a chain axe?
Glory before you even have a chance to.
Why does he have 3 yellows on his chain axe?
He's really good with his chain axe.
Oh.
One could assume that maybe he has a like a butchery skill. Like maybe he worked for a butcher, or maybe this is a meat cutting factory.
Yeah, but you don't need a chain axe to cut meat,
It's
if you
40K.
had the
You
option
need a
to
chain
use
axe
a
to cut meat.
cleaver or a chain axe, I was gonna say if someone was like, "Hey, here's a cleaver," or you can use this chain axe, I would laugh at them. Of course, I want the chain axe.
But then you're not cutting the meat square,
True.
And is that the point?
Like a skill
But I
issue for
am
me.
being cool, and that's important.
Cool. Rule of cool. That is true.
That's the most important thing in Warhammer, honestly. Talking about being cool.
Yep. Cool and collected, our lovely companion Portman comes up beside Sigismund, taps you on the shoulder, and says, "Move aside a little bit. I don't want to shoot you. In fact, I don't seem to be shooting anyone today." As his shot against the in-cover trooper cultist up ahead goes wide. He is semi in cover, but not really, as he is basically standing out in the open now. And for a brief moment, you hear yet more whirring noises from inside, but nothing seems to come into view as it is now Sigismund's turn again.
Sigismund would quickly ask Portman if he can think that he can take the guy that he tried to shoot right now by himself.
I have some skills in combat, but I am not the most adept. I would not trust that to me. Short answer, no. He doesn't feel confident enough.
I was going to be funny and charge the guy that Callisto is dealing with. But instead I'll charge the other guy. Although I actually don't know if I can, sort of, because, yeah.
You can get up to him. He will still have cover. So it'll still be a defense from it, because that's he's like in a better position to deal with you. But you can still get up to him and melee him.
From what Sigismund got a sight of him, did he seem to have anything fancy in his hand for melee weapons?
For Portman?
For this guy.
Oh, the enemy up ahead? He hasn't pulled out any sort of melee weapon of a sort, but you do see a glint of steel behind him. So he definitely has something, you're just not sure until you get close enough. Especially considering he's like partially obscured by his cover at the moment.
I'll just reload my crossbow and shoot the guy that Casildo is dealing with for now. And then I'll focus on that guy because the guy with a chain axe seems scarier currently.
Alright.
Than a normal pistol. So I'll
take a crossbow shot.
Him. Crossbow shot, difficulty 1.
This guy was... Actually, I think it was this gentleman who... Yeah, he has a plus to defense, so add a purple to your ranged difficulty.
Yep.
Triumph.
Let me see what I can do with that at least.
So actually, in that circumstance, that triumph counts as a success and can be crit.
Triumph automatically counts as a success. I have 2 failures. I have 2 successes and 2 failures.
Alright, you just have a triumph. That's interesting.
Yeah. Upgrade
you can upgrade the difficulty of the target's next check, or upgrade an ally's next check.
Or do something
arbitrarily,
vital.
by running by me, you can do something vital.
How about disarming him? Or slightly disturbing his hand at least?
I'm just going to run that as a difficulty increase to him. And his next check is going to be...
Actually, hold on. Is it Callisto's turn before him? Yeah, it is. Instead, slightly disturb him and give Callisto like a better chance to hit him because via, worse footing. For the guy who's attacking him. So give the bonus to Callisto instead.
Alright, give Callisto a bonus to his next attack. So we move through another turn with your turn over at this point. You don't really have... Unless you want to do like a maneuver or a move, because you didn't move.
I already reloaded as a maneuver.
Yeah, fair enough. Alright, Freddy pulls out his own gun and takes yet another shot at the... Well, not yet another. He takes his first shot at the guy below, pointing down to the occultist that is coming up from Casildo's south. Let me make sure I uncheck the people that I'm not shooting with this, and firing off his auto pistol. Alright, that is 2 successes, so that is a little bit of damage. He seems to take it in stride, all things considered, bouncing off parts of his armor. But he doesn't seem happy, of course, and no good reason to be happy, as it is now Casildo's turn, with Freddy stepping back further into cover as his maneuver.
Yeah, Casildo will use his maneuver to change weapons.
Right?
So he'll slung the rifle onto his back and draw his sword to face this chain axe guy.
I actually think that I might have been able to just shoot him because one of the bonuses you can get is negate enemy defense. Or does that? I would assume so because defense increases your difficulty and doesn't increase your soak.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. I'm at least in the moment going to call that wouldn't work for that shot, though.
Yeah. There is also ignore environment damage. There is damage that targets gear/limbs.
Casildo, upgrade one of your upgrade
ahead.
one of your greens to yellow for this because of the buff that you got. So you upgraded your attack.
Oh wow! Upgrade my attack. Hell yeah!
So you're going to be rolling 2 yellows and 1 green plus whatever else.
And then I can use a glory to upgrade again, right?
Yeah, you can use that. Upgrade all 3 to yellow. Give me 1 of my ruin back. All right, 2 successes, 1 advantage. Yep.
So yeah, I slice into this guy, and stagger him back, and give who's the next person to go? CC.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give CC a blue die in his next roll.
Well, all right.
So that would wind up being oops. He now seems bloody by your response attack cutting through a good chunk of his flesh, but doesn't seem dissuaded from continuing his assault. Meanwhile, nearby, the thug runs over past this and takes cover behind this other barrel and reaches out and looks at CC close range and takes a pot shot at him. So we have yet another auto pistol.
How do you say rat-tat-tat-tat?
6 damage, so minus your soak.
So 1 damage.
But he also got 2 threats, so
Mhm.
Yep. So in that circumstance with the 2 threats,
opponent immediately may perform 1 free maneuver as an incidental response. Add blue dice to target's next attack, active, or ally suffers black dice on next action.
all right, your next attack has 2 blue die, CC.
Okie dokie.
I did not mean to move him there. I was just trying to clear. All right, next turn is good show. Let's get it on.
Okay.
Point blank range.
David seems pretty excited now to be an actual meat shield. TPH.
Shh. Ah, shit. As you hear what sounds to be like some form of gun jam over around the corner around you.
To be fair, he's in short range right now, probably. So it should only be 1 difficulty attack difficulty.
Which would have succeeded if we ignored the last dice.
All right, let me re-roll it with that then, because
Yeah.
I'm not just going to assume the die order and shit.
If he's not going into engaged distance, is he going into engaged distance for no reason?
That should be it. Yeah, he's basically getting up near point blank. I'll do
Yeah,
that
short
instead. That
range.
makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
All right.
He misses anyway. It's fine.
At least
Still
he's one
failures, but
advantage.
advantage instead. So is no gun jam sound. It's just like as this you briefly see him fire a shot, and you hear some scuffling sound as you assume the guy rolls over to avoid the shot, just barely. And then David's just like, "Stop moving!"
It's like an old movie where it seems like he really should have been shot, but somehow he isn't.
And then he can pass out a blue die to somebody or heal one of his strain.
Take a blue die, Casildo, as the door opens yet again. And another individual comes out, this time behind you, and with his back to his chain axe wielding brother, looks up and takes a shot at Cece. This time with a las pistol.
I don't know what we're doing for range bands for things, but remember that short range is 1 difficulty die as the base.
I mean, we also need to take account.
You know,
defense.
I'm thinking that maybe the bolter does need to come out.
There's a lot more guys here. Than I thought.
So what's your range? What's your range defense, CC?
1.
All right. So I think they add, if anything, 1 difficulty dice from the range and 1 from the target's defense. So that is accurate.
They do add, yeah. I didn't know he had range defense. Who the hell has range defense?
I have 1. I also have 1 melee. I have a flak jacket.
Nice.
I have 2 melee because of the chainsword.
Right, so he takes a shot at you, and it's a pure wash. Nothing of any note, as you just duck slightly to the side, and a laser bolt goes over your head. It is now... I just did his turn. I forgot to do the other... Oh yeah, it's the Chainsaw Boy's turn.
Oh boy.
Chain Axe Boy's turn, as he, yet again, attempts to take a swing at you. However, were there any things imposed upon him, or was it all buffs to you?
There was only the 1 blue buff to me, as far as I know. I did switch out my sword, so he should be at 3 difficulty now.
All right, yes, you have a defensive weapon, so you gain an additional defense for that. I will accommodate that, and he will still roll 4 successes. However, he does roll 3 threat. So
I forgot that I had observance. I technically could have had an even higher bloody initiative.
So I need to roll something to soak that, right? Into strain.
yeah,
What's the roll for that? What's that? Resilience?
I believe so.
And it has no difficulty as far as I recall. Just whatever I roll is the amount I can take. Okay, so 2 of that damage. So I soak 2 of that
the
damage.
advantage is a moot point.
Oh, I soak 5. I soak 5, and then
put 2 into strain instead of health.
yeah, and then I can get rid of another 2 with strain, and then the advantages don't do anything, right?
No, in that roll, no.
So I get rid of 7.
Anything
so I
else
take
goes
4.
to health, and it is minimum damage 1.
Yeah, so I take 4 damage.
All right. He manages to get his chainsaw into you, and with a little bit of exertion, you attempt to parry the blade aside with your sword, but the grinding teeth of the chain axe push your sword eventually aside, inflicting some strain upon you as it bites deep into your arm and gives a good gash to you. And with that, he is going to take a moment to...
It does also pierce one of my. It also does pierce one of my soak, so I take 1 more damage.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. Nothing else. He really doesn't want to move away. His maneuvers are not really going to help with a melee weapon anyway. So that is the end of that turn. As all right, it got reloaded.
This can only end well.
Burly fellow, you may want to duck! What is that, old chap? Oh, jeez! As,
Jeez.
bullet fire whizzes overhead. I believe from him being prone, there's an advantage, correct? Trying to remember what debuffs prone imposes.
I think it's either adding a black die to getting shot at. I think that's what prone does.
I would assume so.
And then adds like a blue die if someone's meleeing you.
Alright, yeah. I'm just gonna roll this then. Oh! Good sir, you need to calibrate your bullets better. Might I recommend some of my oil? Here! Smile! Who's that? Sort of, scratches his head, and he's going to give himself another blue die later on because he doesn't seem to realize what's going on in some ways. As it is now Cece's turn.
Gotcha. Would I be able to pull out the carbine and then take a shot?
Yep, you use your maneuver to swap weapon, so that if you wanted to then move afterwards, it would be strain to perform an extra maneuver.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
Then
that's how that works.
I want to just use my maneuver to pull that out instead. And what is that used to shoot?
It should
I
say
thought
on
it
the
was
weapon
light
because I'm
because
pretty
it
sure I
was-
added it to you.
Yeah, let me check. Pierce 2, vicious.
Factory bolt carbine is a skill ranged
I
heavy.
can just-
It's a long arm, so yeah, it's
I
ranged
mean, you
heavy.
should be able
And
to
I
just
get
lick
2
it.
blue dice. Yeah.
Yes, you have been given 2 blue dice at this point.
All right.
Which one is your target? The one to your left or
the-
right?
The one with the chainsword still, yeah? I think he's the one that's the most
Chainsword
threat-
is
Chain
the one right next to Casildo.
next.
Then there's this other guy right next to that guy who's shooting at you. And sword chain axe guy, he will basically act as cover, and I will implement a black die on you.
Oh. Yeah, then I'll just hopefully hit this guy with a bolt shot and blow him away. The guy who is shooting at me.
Yeah.
Fucking every time.
All right. You can increase your defense briefly with that.
I would
Or
like to use the
alternatively, you could
glory.
use a glory to reroll.
Yeah, I would like to use that.
I think
because,
the better way to do it is to, if there is a way to right click on it and say reroll. I don't know if you have that.
no, it says make private or delete.
Okay, then just roll it again. Same stuff. So 2 green, 2 purple, 2 blue.
Green to purple to blue.
You can also use further glory to enhance it, or you can fail.
That's
Fail more.
fine. It's fine. We
You
failed
tried.
again.
No dice. No disadvantage or anything imposed. Advantage, you can maybe add a blue to, I don't know, Sigismund.
Yeah, we could
I
do
don't know.
that.
It's up to you guys who you give it to, but I'm just suggesting. Portman moves past Sigismund and very briefly says, I would very much appreciate if you would not murder my colleagues. I do still need to be paid. As he pulls up his last pistol again and takes an aimed shot. Takes a shot at this guy to see if he can do something. It's not an aim shot. That was a misnumber. I do need to recalibrate my weapons. As he shoots wide again with the las pistol from the guy ducking inward into the crates and everything. Taps his las pistol a couple times and gives himself a blue die for next time he tries to shoot. So there's that. And you hear yet more whirring inside, getting slowly louder towards the door. as it is now Sigismund's turn yet again.
Oh boy.
Are you try and do one of them Call of Duty collaterals?
Debating.
I'll let you try it with upgrading difficulty to a red die. Deal
I
damage
was
to 2 at
thinking
once.
about charging, but if you are giving me the opportunity for a collateral, sure.
I basically what I'm going. You can't aim. You have to move at least like here to make it feasible, and you have to add 1 red die. But I will allow you to do that if you would like to.
So 1 difficulty, normal, and 1 red.
Upgrade 1 of the difficulty it gives you to red. Yeah.
And I need to have to strain because.
If you're gonna maneuver anyway, you should probably maneuver into short range. So you only get the one difficulty.
Yeah.
So these guys do have some range defense. They have 1 range defense, so the 2 has been accurate this whole time.
Okay, so we have been in short. Gotcha.
Yeah. So it has been calculating it correctly when the target is marked and such.
All these people running around with the fence. Weird.
Anyways. I do this.
Success. Right. It is. You just rolled straight ranged heavy, so I need you to roll the crossbow for damage. Or tell me the damage for it.
The crossbow damage is 6, 1 success, 7.
Alright, so 7 damage total?
Yep.
Alright. Take a shot. And
quick scopes for the Emperor.
yeah, the crossbow bolt passes through the first one's skull and embeds him into the shin of the other one, but he quickly kicks him off, not causing any debuff or anything, but you nearly pin them together, as the first one crumples over dead. As we are using horde health here, so sort of a collective.
Yep.
And with that,
my turn. Let me click the button. You already did it for me. Epic.
Yep.
Freddy
comes moving up.
NPCs, you know.
Freddy comes up and attempts to take an auto pistol shot against the other bitch down here. And actually succeeds, taking a little bit of damage off. Sort of skates over parts of his armor, but does leave a gash or 2. And it is now Casildo's turn.
All right, I will. Let's see. Do I want to aim and try to finish this guy off? Yeah. So I'll aim. And then sword.
I realize how I'm supposed to run hordes, but yeah. Whatever. Too late now. Go ahead and do whatever.
And he has no melee defense, right?
He has 2 melee defense. He has better melee defense.
He should be fine as long as you're targeting him.
Yeah, if you right click and target him, it auto calculates.
Well, it's only giving me 2 difficulty die.
Yeah, because range isn't a factor for melee.
Right. So he has no melee defense.
No, he has 2 melee defense. That's why you have the 2 die.
No, because melee is base 2 difficulty, and then you add beyond that.
So it should be 4.
I feel like combat
should
would
be
be
4, right?
awful if we went that way because it would literally be a shitfest of everyone missing again and again.
All right,
and
yeah,
again,
just
and again,
just go
and
with the 2.
again.
Just go with the 2 difficulty for now because we've already been at this a while.
All right.
It's like we would literally.
And he is wounded. I will just say he's not doing too well.
Someone who's tanky has will have a more difficult roll than it usually the rules want you to do normally, of like 6.
I get enough advantage to crit him as well.
He falls back
Nice.
as you raise your sword and bite it deep into the side of his neck, cutting through. He attempts to raise up his axe in defiance and starts whirring the blade, but his grip slackens off of the trigger and he drops it to the side as he lays dead,
Nice.
with blood pouring out of his neck quite nicely. Good artery hit.
Casildo does that anime move where he flicks the sword so the blood flicks onto the ground.
Fucking, weeb. As
That's his
the
turn.
other one behind Cece suddenly around to face the new threat behind him in Portman, miss his last pistol shot, but is still right behind him now. So he takes a shot at Portman. Let me make sure I only have the one guy marked as target, because it seems to like to keep the targets marked in between everything. You're not the target, you're the shooter. He's the target. Boop. Auto pistol shot. Go. Ooh, boy. Alright. And real quickly, I just gotta see what Portman has for soak. That is...
4.
Yep, it was a total of 7 damage with 4 soak, so 3 points of damage actually make it through. He does get 2 threats, though, which seems to jam up his gun a little bit, imposing black on him. I'm just going to keep it simple. Actually, that was supposed to have a blue, so the threat nullifies the blue. Shut up. I forget. I'm forgetful. With that, another gentleman cocks the shotgun he has again and aims. Stay still, will you? Blast it!
Again, stay still.
I really should have taken that class to learn how to use this thing. He proceeds to be like, well, I don't think I've done very much good work here, but I will stick around over here. Hides behind the cover. As all of a sudden another blast of minigun fire comes out of seemingly nowhere to aim at this guy over here, and you have... 4 success and advantage. As right next to you, Casildo, you turn and look at the guy next to you, and the guy around the corner, and you see a blast of fire go straight towards him. And he doesn't even budge, as he just flops dead over.
He turns into a fine red mist.
The only active participant in the fight right now that you know of is the that guy. All right, it is now Cece's turn. Sorry.
Fantastic. Then I believe it's just the guy who's right next to me. I'm gonna try and hit them with the carbine. Still difficulty 2.
Yep.
Just making sure.
You succeed. That is 10 damages. And you proceed to blast a hole into the back of his head, exploding out as he falls.
Jesus.
Lifeless. But you still realize you haven't seen that thing that keeps whirring inside.
Right.
Yep.
We are now out of combat, but you do know that there may still be a threat about.
Where one of us is gonna walk around the corner and become cheese.
I reload my crossbow and try to open the door. Am
The
I
door is
reaching
already
inside?
actually opened from the previous guys charging out and not bothering to close it behind them.
Great.
You look inside and you see, well, to be frank, death. But that is sort of expected. You are at a butcher's shop in the Underhive.
Yep.
What's odd to you is that, just like outside, none of the machinery is running. Everything is deathly silent in here. I'd like you to
Oh.
roll perception for me.
General skills, perception, to difficulty.
Yep.
I did it.
What you notice is something else odd, as the cart right next to you seems to have been dismantled. While the frame sits there, all of the wheels on it have been stripped off and cast aside. Looking further, this rack holding the corpses in front of you has no wiring or electricity running to it. There's nothing powering it. In fact, you spot a small electrical cable coming off of it, branching across the floor, but sliced in the middle, cut straight across with what appears to be one of the chain axes. It looks as if somebody has been purposely sabotaging this place.
So either someone is sabotaging this place or is making something from everything. Anyone
step
else
further
going to back
inside?
me up right now yet, or
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
Casildo is just like looking at this gashing wound in his shoulder, like trying to like put some pressure on it, trying to seal it up on his suit. So he's dealing with serious damage issues right now.
Right.
He's like,
None of the NPCs seem to be volunteering to come up with you.
Why
quite
did we?
recently.
I sorry, I didn't know I was able to come up. Yes, I will come up with you. Oh, I can't move. Now I can move.
Sigismund would also point out that, the wheels on the cart are gone and that the wiring is cut in the rack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it seems weird
you see
that-
this pointed out to you.
It seems weird that the factory isn't functional, like at all.
Yeah.
Like you'd figure
walk
even if they
further
were just
inside.
like, eating the meat, like they'd still want to, have it work. Yeah.
Would you like
I
to do
guess
an
we'll
inspection
roam
now
around.
that you're inside, Cece?
Yeah.
You can move forward.
Move to like here. What do I perception?
I'll have you do it as perception, but I'll give you just make it difficulty 1 because it's specifically perception for tech purposes. I'm just
Okay.
going to remove the difficulty instead of making it buffed. You are having trouble getting over the stench of this place, the sheer smell of death and decay.
Yeah.
Yes, that sure is a big hole.
I'm trying
As
to check
you
the-
look at the corpses on the rack next to you, still strung up, but with no means of moving them around properly on the conveyor, you spot that these look like any other Underhiver that you might have expected to see here. But, however, you do look at one of them wearing a oddly nice coat.
Oh,
Yep.
You think they ate one of the captains?
Maybe.
You said it's a very nice looking coat. Are there any like military?
Would you like to check to see if they have any like insignias or anything on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You could take a little bit of time with this. Perception check again. Still
Okay.
difficulty 1.
Mhm.
You look at this. I'm ignoring the threat, by the way. You look at this and you move it
The
aside.
thread is gross.
And you pull the coat, and yeah, it's covered in blood. It's tattered. But at some point, you pull out a strange emblem. Now let's see if you know what this emblem is. Would you do a... let's see what the appropriate lore... There are 4 lore categories. I just have to remember which one is right.
Sigismund would be about to mention, please don't tell me you're stealing from the dead.
I have common, forbidden, and
It
scholastic.
is common lore. It is common lore.
And then Sigismund would also take a look at the thing, because
Yeah,
Yep, so both
I'd tell
of you
like,
roll
I'm-
common lore. Actually, Sigismund, you do not. And the
Yeah.
reason you do not is because you never heard of the Corpse Guild before. But Cece has. And this is
Yeah.
their insignia.
Oh, so the people who are here, we thought were the Corpse Grinder cult, but they're killing Corpse Grinder members.
Corpse Guild members, to be specific.
Yeah, Corpse Guild members, which seems like, I don't know, if you were higher up in command, maybe you wouldn't be first on the chopping block. You'd be the
Right.
one handing out the straws for people to draw, not the one drawing the straws. So I don't think we're dealing with like Corpse Guild members.
And with
Casildo
that,
will like come around the corner.
Go ahead.
Be like, what?
I'll be like, yeah, I think these are some other fanatics.
Sigismund in his mind just hopes that it's not chaos cultists, and I should probably switch my hatred trait from heretics to chaos cultists, because yeah.
With that in mind, did we see any like symbols drawn on the walls on the way in, Trisky?
no. I mean, other than the skulls hanging and the cage, there wasn't any, like, symbolism of any
Even if
sort.
we wouldn't recognize them, is the thing.
Well, I mean, maybe CC recognized the symbol of the Corpse Guild on the way in, as it would usually be adorned on things, but there wasn't
I'm
anything
talking
out
about
of the
any-
ordinary.
Any chaos symbols, because yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell. Blood
you would
and
notice
Bones is kind of their
symbology.
whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't asking if there was like chaos symbols, because I don't know if Casildo would know the chaos symbols, but like he's thinking like, oh, if it's some other, organization, then
I wouldn't have noticed if it was chaos, because I would have just assumed that the Corpse Guild would have had, I don't know, skulls, blood, and bones everywhere. So I wouldn't have really put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
CC, you actually do know what the symbol looks like. It isn't some generic thing. It is actually some, like, actual organizational insignia of some sort. The Corpse Guild is an official, like, organization of the hive. They work both in the underhive and upper hive. they're actually an important body.
Yeah,
in
so
the hive.
there's no reason why this person should be hanging here, because I assume with them being an official guild member, even if they were to like die, desecrating their corpse, I assume would be akin to like heresy, wouldn't it?
You could assume as such. It depends on the like guild and institution and how strict they are. But this place, like, you're in the Underhive and it's shit down here, but Hive Acropolis in its whole isn't desperate.
Yeah. So there's something darker going on here. I'm gonna go ahead and keep a hold of this insignia.
But
Bring it back to
in the
Creed.
meanwhile, as you're having these thoughts to yourself, Sigismund moves forward along with Casildo into the facility. And as you pass these barrels, you turn And you see a figure that... How the fuck was he hiding there?
Oh, hi, friend.
A
heck?
massive 8 foot tall, hulking muscle figure with dual chain axes stands calmly behind the barrels and just watches you. And he steps out from behind the pole and points one axe at you and says one thing.
What is your purpose here?
I think I need to make a cool check to actually say what I want to say.
Go nuts.
Not fucking going
Go
slow.
ahead.
This has, I will tell you right now, this has no demonic and presence of any sort. This is not chaos.
I know,
Or
it's
at
not
least to your
difficulty 2
knowledge.
cool. It's not like difficulty 4 cool. Okay. Yeah. So Casildo will like keep his cool. And he'll say, we're here to pick up the meat.
Corpse Guilders. You don't look it.
We're not from the Corpse Guild, we're just here to pick it up.
That is not how they work. I know. What is your real reason?
Can I come around the corner with my new Corpse Guild insignia in hand?
Yes,
And-
the bloody corpse guild insignia, because they're
And
totally
so I'm
worth
just gonna
the
come around the
bloody
corner
there.
and be like, they're hired hands. Other ones died along the way. I picked up some mercenaries. And I was just kind of like shimmying the emblem. I assume you're the resident butcher? Yes, I'm very small.
Suit over there.
I mean, I found it, so I assume that it passes down, right?
Sigismund basically slaps his face.
Tell me your reason. Or face my axes. Your choice.
I actually I forgot what the whole reason. Oh, vehicles. Right. So I was trying to remember what it is.
In your fear, you temporarily forgot why the fuck you're actually here.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think.
We're here to pick up the supplies, right? So we're here to pick up the meat.
Yeah, meat and trucks,
Yeah.
mostly trucks.
Mostly meat. But also
Right.
trucks.
He just looks at Casildo, and you can tell even through the mask that he has, with the... Oh yeah, I forgot. I never showed you guys the character art.
Full art.
Big man.
It's loading in slowly for me. Yeah. Big.
He has a cleaver embedded in the skull of his mask, and doesn't seem to give a shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that this guy here. I don't think lying to him's a good idea.
I mean, we're not lying to him.
True.
Sigismund is
True, but I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, and I just kind of like tossed the patch down.
Like, we're here to take the
Sigismund was
meat
just
and get the fuck out. That's what we're here for.
Preferably
Sigismund
in
was
a truck.
You intend to bring it back. Reclaim it.
No, I don't think that was in the. No. No, we just needed some trucks and meat.
Killed.
Personally, like
what? Casildo does like mental math to try and recall how many of them were out there.
Are you like holding up your fingers and counting them and shit?
It was like 6, right?
Yeah, it was 6.
Yeah, 6 of your employees were a bit crazy out there, so we had to put them down.
Employees. That's good.
That was a funny one.
It's fine. They died well. And I will bury them.
Okay.
He slowly steps towards Sigismund and looks down at you.
You are a devout follower of the Golden Throne.
Yes.
It appears that you've yet to lose faith.
And I'm not planning on that in the future.
And I am not asking of it. I am merely observing.
And with that, he just sort of steps past you towards Casildo and looks down at Casildo.
I just want to mention.
Aren't from here.
I don't think any of us are from here.
What was it, Mary?
I just want to say that Sigismund is like. He allowed Casildo and CC to just go ahead with this conversation, and they're basically putting on a clown show. Just tell him that we are here for a truck.
I am.
Does Sigismund actually just say that?
Correcting me, and I don't want him to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Casildo's just like, yeah, we could use the meat too, so I'm just gonna say that too.
So it's like any other.
What we came down here for was supplies and a truck.
So any fear that
We
might
bring
have
back
been-
human meat to Sarah Creed.
So any.
You're getting in
fear
trouble,
that
not me.
might
We're all eating human meat all the time. What do you think corpse
Yeah.
chop is?
By technicality, basically everyone in Necromunda eats human meat. That's why the Corpse Guild exists.
We're
I know.
eating human meat all the time.
So,
Listen,
just
there's
want
a
to say
difference
that-
between a burger and raw meat.
I just
yeah,
want to
there's a
specifically
layer
add,
of separation between you and the process.
Yes.
Sigismund is just so sick of this clown show that he's like any slight amount of fear in him has been replaced with irritation.
I mean, if you want to try to take this guy, you could go for it.
It's like he was one step away from asking, "Can you please just chop my head off already?"
The figure looks down at you and just sort of nods very, like, almost imperceptibly, and then steps forward and uses his hand to push you aside.
You gonna
And
get on a stool there, big man?
The bars and chains of this stock move and shuffle as he ducks underneath and comes across and looks down at CC. And he leans over and picks up the insignia and holds it up to his hand, his other hand, tosses it back and forth between both of them, and then pulls out a chain axe and spins it around in his hand before pressing the symbol against the chain axe and turning it on to rip it to shreds, cutting into his hand as well. And then he tosses it aside.
Fair.
Take
Worrying,
what
but
you
fair.
need. But if you should ever attempt to run these machines again, I will end you.
Oh,
You don't like these machines running. Interesting. I thought maybe you were running it.
To suffer. To ran this establishment.
And with that, he methodically grabs, like, at the coats of every single corpse on the belt and rips off the same symbol over and over again and tosses them to the ground.
All right, I'll make a note of that. Don't turn on these machines. I'll pass that along.
Funny little man.
Appreciate you, large,
The truck
intimidating
is
man.
out back. I have burying to do.
I'll call that a win. Casildo, that a win.
Are you
Sigmund,
deaf?
that a win.
Leave.
He
Yeah.
says as he turns around and points his chain axe towards Casildo and Sigismund.
Sir, I apologize. The game is paused. I literally cannot move right now.
Yeah.
Damn, some external forces preventing this. It's almost like it's not your fault at all, and I overreacted.
Well, we still need to grab the supplies in here. So I just like grab a barrel and start to like drag it out the door.
He just
Probably
watches
empty.
you. As you're slowly dragging the barrel out, you see him turn around and walk off and proceed to grab a shovel. That's a large shovel that's against the wall. Really should just be a snow shovel, to be honest, but it seems more reinforced than that.
Before the guy like comes out here, Casildo's gonna try and take the chain axe off this guy on the ground in front of him here.
Yeah, you pick up the chain
Right.
axe, no issue there.
Great. I'm gonna
And he
replace my
comes
sword
back,
with
and
chain axe.
if he notices it, he makes no mention of it.
Could I possibly do a forbidden lore check to see if Sigismund notices anything sus about the guy?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, what's sus about a freaking 9-foot tall fucking monster? You know?
I'd move
just
over.
no dual wielding chain axes, completely normal.
I
To
move over to
difficulty.
Freddy and David, and I'm like, go, 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 go.
Did we even see a truck in here? Where the hell is the truck?
He
There's
said they're out
there's a
back.
truck out back. It's not on the map.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm
Also-
gonna drag this barrel of meat outside to the truck.
Oh my god.
Loaded into the back.
As you open up the doors to the back of the truck, we're cutting to Theater of the Mind entirely at this point, by the way, because now we're off the map. You open up the back doors of the truck, and immediately wince as you see stacks and stacks of barrels filled to the brim with expired meat.
Expired.
Yeah,
Flies
that's what
are
happens when the
everywhere.
fridges
The
aren't
stench
going.
of death is inside of here, and you may want to clean that out.
Yeah, we should unload all this. We unload all that out of the back of the truck.
Which, funnily enough, will take a hour or two at least.
Well, I mean, if Mr. Big Man doesn't come out here, then it's fine.
Also, I rolled my forbidden lore, and yeah.
You know what? Worst case, I know this really cool trick. We open up the door and we drive really fast and all of it dumps out.
So, Sigismund. You, at the door, before all of this revelation of the truck and everything, you turn back one last time to see him holding up the, shovel, and in the back of your mind, you hear... Blood for the blood god. And it expires. It's almost like non-committal. You're not sure what to make of it. As he picks up the shovel and turns and starts walking in your direction to go bury the bodies.
I will perceive that personally as him slowly being corrupted by corn, but not filling in yet. And make a mental note of coming here first once Sigismund gets better weaponry.
Note to self, kill him later.
Potentially.
But yeah, it has been a little over 3 hours now, and that combat lasted a while. I'm sorry, I was a bit begrudging, not the intent. But I believe at this point, as you proceed to unload the truck, load up fresh meat, of which he doesn't interrupt you at all in your response, but he does seem to eye you at regular intervals when you get near the machinery. He continues to bury the bodies in between. You load up the truck, and you start the drive back home. Funnily enough, now CC can't drive both vehicles at the same time, so who's driving the other one? Are you letting one of the NPCs do it?
I think
Or
the
the
Mechanicus guy is probably the best driver, right?
Let me double check his driving, but you should actually be able to see his sheet.
Oh, yeah, I should be able to. Driving.
But as I recall, nobody else is particularly good at driving.
Yeah, Equire can
Except for
drive.
Equire.
Inquire can drive, of course he can.
Equire is a fucking insane driver. He's really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, he is a veteran.
Play the Granddad Found the Car Keys
Yeah,
video.
we'll put Equire in the driver's seat for the truck, and then we'll all pile in the car, and then we'll escort him back.
At least one person can go in the passenger seat of the truck, so it is a nice clown car.
I guess I volunteer as tribute.
Trying to keep Equire relatively sane and driving in the correct direction.
Yeah, do the navigation for him.
Right. And with that, you make your way back towards home. With that, we will end off our session for today.
Yeah. Any other quick things that we should do, maybe quickly, because yeah.
Very quickly, from the corpses of your opponents, he doesn't seem to care if you strip their equipment. You get a total of, 3 auto pistols, 3 las pistols, some knives, and the 1 chain axe. So you can hold on to those as you see fit, or discard them if you don't even care, because some of them are pretty basic weapons.
I mean, we can probably sell them at least, because,
Very mild amounts, yeah.
And
But
also we
that is
definitely
basically
are
what's going on
keeping-
there.
Who wants to get the chain axe, or do we give it to... or do we
I think
give the
Casildo
chain
wanted it,
axe?
yeah.
I was going to
Casildo
say, who
has
wants
it
the
at the
chain
moment.
axe, or do we give the chain axe to Acquire?
No, I need the chain axe. I'm actually good at melee light.
Nice.
So
Like-
my weapon.
Mine! Plus, it tried to kill me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have it
We
on
have,
my belt.
we have a blood bond now.
Alongside the sword, so I could like draw the sword if I need to be stealthy, and I can draw the chain axe if I'm not trying to be stealthy, basically.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
With that in mind,
Um,
thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I appreciate you coming by. I'm sorry there were stutters during this campaign, getting back into the swing of things. First campaign after the holidays again, and some stuff unprepared, but hopefully you will join us again next time as we finally get on to this whole entire, getting supplies endeavor, maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
Until
eventually
next time.
succeed.
bye.
But
Everybody,
Bye.
that was fun.
well, it's fun.
Yeah.